items, we can delete this, we can get to that one.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest focus is number 9, obviously.
So do we have to motion to put, 10 and 11 and some of these other ones off? Or do we just kind of go with number 9 until we run out of time? I don't know how it usually works. Let Galen back in.
Well, you have a obligation?
We have another meeting in that room at 4:30.
Oh. But again, I'm sorry for the. On me, so. All right, we'll get as far as we can, possible. You want to move right to, number 9, discussion and possible action on future staff.
Sure. So I guess, I mean, the board, we talked about this at the last meeting. I don't really have anything new to present. I don't have any. I mean, it's the same information that we've discussed multiple times, I think. Because of the ongoing negotiations with the union, I think the biggest thing that Eric and I need at this point is some direction on on how the board wants us to move forward as far as staffing.
Yep.
We do have, and it would have to be quick. Can you go through this in 5 minutes?
I'm doing less than 5 minutes.
So we started our strategic planning, while Eric preps us, we started our strategic planning. As part of that, we sent out surveys. Some of you may have seen them. We are early into it. I want to make that clear. This is not complete yet, but we had, I think, 31. So we have public surveys, healthcare surveys, business owners, and education. And right now, the ones we've gotten back are the public surveys. We have 31 of them so far. We've had a fairly quick turnaround on some of these. I was somewhat surprised. And some of the questions in here do relate around, we asked questions about staffing. There was, I think, like 30 questions, but, so Eric can hit on a couple of those points, and we can give you guys certainly an update on this, obviously, when the survey is completely done. But this is where we're at.
Eric's getting his notes together. How often do we do this?
Every 5
Every 5.
Every 5 years. And then who comes up with the questions in the questionnaire that go on?
We have a strategic planning group that is formed within members of the department of all levels, and then that is who came up with it.
So I was gonna talk about this. Basically, we look at the full operation of the department and how we operate, and we're just asking people what their expectation of the department is. That's why we ask things like, we're asking about our vision, theme, and values, and just, do you think we meet those? Because if we don't, maybe we need to look at our vision, mission, and values, and that's something we would put into the strategic plan. And over the next 5 years, we potentially evaluate that and change that. So this survey kind of drives, we'll do a risk analysis on the department. We'll do a SWOT or a SWOC if you're familiar. So it's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. And off of that, we'll build our strategic plan. So this really is just giving us suggestions to create that SWOC down the road. But some early themes. So when we asked about department staffing, we had about 50% of respondents said we should add staffing. 12% said we should keep staffing as is. 19% had, and when I say percent, so 50%, 8 of 16, 12% is 2 of the 16 said keep staffing. Funding mechanisms, 3 of the 16, some talked about reducing, some talked about increasing. Funding just was a theme. And then another 2 just said we were doing a good job. But the staffing specific question, it was 75% said we should add staffing.
And that's out of, again, how many surveys?
Here,
31.
yeah,
total.
so 70% said we should increase to meet or exceed NFPA standards of 15. And 30% said we should leave it as is. The other possibility in there was increase staffing, but keep it below the 15. And we had 0 people felt that that's what we should do. So, you know, again, the 31 responses, 70% said we should increase to meet or exceed that 15. And 30% said we should leave it as is.
How long was that open so far?
It's been
only
open 4 days.
Yeah, it's very,
It's
early.
very early.
This was more
Yeah, it's just information.
respondents than I thought,
Yeah.
so I thought it was just worth pulling it and bringing it to me.
But we'll do a full, I mean, it's open until August 2nd. I encourage all the municipalities to share it. We this is just the public survey. We're surveying all of our stakeholders, businesses, healthcare, other fire departments. And then we will quantify that data and the committee will use that to drive that SWOT analysis to create strategic planning for the next 5 years. When that document is ready, we're hoping in November, we'll present that to the board.
So yeah, like I said earlier, I don't really have a whole lot new as far as things to bring up to the board as far as staffing goes, other than, just kind of looking for some direction on how we're gonna tackle this moving forward, because that does kind of lead us in how we can continue with union negotiations. I would rather not get down to the last minute with the union or operate without a contract. I don't think I know it is somewhat common, but I don't want to go down that road. And most of our union members are also in a paramedic class right now, and I would like to have it done before you guys do testing. So you guys aren't trying to finish that up and do testing at the same time, which is in like December, correct? November. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like I said, not a whole lot new to report on. Other than what we already have talked about.
The only other piece of that is if there was a conversation with either municipality about referendum, we have to have that to county clerk by the 24th of August.
Yeah.
So
The only other thing I would mention, and I'm somewhat reluctant to do it, but I'm gonna do it, and this is really just pertains to the village of Weston. But in looking at public safety, I can't help but notice that Mountain Bay Metro Police Department gets 214% more money from the village than Safer does. That, in my opinion, and I realize we're not apples to apples, but that's incredibly unbalanced. They get just shy of 3.5 million. We get just over 1 million. I'm not quite sure how it got to that point, but that's a pretty big disparity.
All right. Can we move on then?
we need some
Yep.
discussion. Do you want to?
Well, you've got a question? Go ahead.
Well, I guess my thing is you need staffing, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to that. I am opposed to going to referendum. So either we need to go 3 over a period of time, or we need to find it in the budget, but that's my thing. I don't care if it's 3, 6, or 1 million staff that we need to add. I can totally see the point. That's just where I'm coming from. I don't want to put words in your mouth, so pitch me if I go too far. We did talk briefly when we started budget that the 3 might be a potential for 2027. Yeah, that we could feel some level of comfort with that without going to correct, and I was comfortable with that. That's why I asked if we went with kind of what was the original plan, which was the 3 and the 3, could we have some comfort around that? I think that both municipalities need direction for budget, and we're kind of kicking that off now.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to get some numbers from staff. Or at least what we feel is what it'll take. So,
Yeah, otherwise we're doing 2 budgets. If you guys are going to referendum, then we can't do anything on budget, but we have to create 2 of them.
Yeah.
In case the referendum passes and then in case it doesn't.
And
we're
we haven't
looking at
voted on.
referendum, we're going for 3, so we're looking for confidence.
And I guess we still need to confirm that with the board, but we have a level of comfort that we could do the 3.
So Weston's okay with 3, and when we were in, the village said last summer, said just go for 6, rip the Band-Aid off and put them in. That isn't the answer. So,
He said rip the
Well, we
Band-Aid off.
can-
He said they have.
I don't think our board said to just rip the Band-Aid off.
well, but there was a comment about, well, let's just add 6.
They did.
Well, yeah, a comment, yeah. But
And that's where you said to go with. Trustee Schaefer said, so let's do 6.
That was mid-year.
That was mid-year
It
though.
was mid-year, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you guys had to do the referendum on adding 6, right?
Well, right, because you can't collect.
Which is, so we're closing our, so we got a little money coming in now. Because the referendum failed, we got down the road a year, we're able to do 3 this year. So what we're looking for from this meeting is confirmation that we're gonna move ahead with safer and the both villages have reasonable number.
We've got 4 weeks to decide. Or we decide today.
Yeah.
What's gonna change our 4 minds between now and 4 weeks from now?
Well, the numbers will change my mind, if they're too big initially.
But
I'd like to see a gradual increase, to be quite honest with you. Not a sudden impact of 6.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
I'm 0 or 3, Al. I'm 0 or 3.
Okay, all right.
When you have, what were we, 68, we were 68 and Red Mountain, I mean, you could,
68-32 rates.
yeah, you could take 32% of the 6 million.
Right.
I mean, that's a rough, I understand that's a rough number, but that's where you,
Right, right.
can't do
I
that.
understand that.
You're saying for the 6 people, that would be the 6 people if you're at 60.
yeah, but that would be, if we did 3 and 3, I'm
Oh,
taking
3
that
and
from the
3,
3 and
okay.
3 number.
Okay.
For
Yes.
our part, if everybody's looking for direction, we have to give some direction at some point.
Well, I think we could bring it back for, the August meeting.
But then we would have to make a decision because Jamie is
Right.
saying
Well,
basically.
you make the
if village-
decision now or make the decision in August, either way.
I'm up for it now. What does it change yours? Now or
I'm,
later?
I'm 0 or 3, period, and I'm not going to referendum. So,
Yeah, but do we make, I guess that my question is, do we make a decision? We have 8 minutes. Do we make a decision today or do we delay it for, because the quicker we make a decision, everything else can start in play.
so
We're not
if
trying to
we,
make response. We've been talking about this for quite a while.
if we make a decision today and the board talks on Monday, we would have to make a decision to go to referendum on Monday if they voted for 6, is that
You
correct?
could still go to August, the benefit is that you could talk through about what are your options.
Yes.
And Jess could say, you could give kind of a preliminary of, we wouldn't need to because of these reasons, or Monday.
Yeah.
The issue, if you wait until August, and we wait till August, there's no time for contemplation, you both have to kind of.
And so the last date for referendum is in August to get on which ballot? November. Why can't we delay it to April?
You certainly could, but you don't get the tax base till 2028.
That's why the question.
How many firefighters do we have currently, full-time staff?
Total or on duty each day?
Total.
We're at 27, including administrative
Yeah,
staff.
27. So we're adding, I go on numbers, we had 3 people, that's a 10% increase in your staff. We had 6 people, that's a 20% increase in your staffing. That's a significant increase in staffing levels.
I do not disagree with you.
So, I mean, I get it, it's only 3 people, but percentage wise, we got 27 guys that are doing a kick-ass job, kick-butt job. And we're servicing us 94% of the time.
I guess Jessica, would you know off the top of your head how much it would cost a $300,000 house to rent the 6 people? We talked about that. Wasn't it like $70 or something like that? I mean, this is my part of it and I hate looking at it this way, but I mean, I'm a resident here too. And if something bad happens to one of my kids or me, because we didn't pay $50, I think you're doing a disservice to the public. I'm just gonna say it. It's $50.
I want to piggyback that because I'm a Village of Rib Mountain resident. And my insurance premium, because of our ISO rating, is gonna go up thousands of dollars. Because I'm outside of the hydrant. I'm 3 minutes from the fire station. I'm 3 miles away, but I'm more than 1,000 feet away. I would much rather pay that $1,000 in insurance premium that I'm gonna end up paying on my taxes any day of the week.
And with that being said,
Any day of the week.
I can totally understand where board members come from. I
Right.
fully understand what your job is and I fully understand the pressure. But I get the pressure from the opposite side of that.
Yeah.
Eric and I have been getting
Phone calls.
very angry phone calls from both municipalities because people's insurance rates have gone up $600, $700 a year because of what he's talking about. Now, I will also say that it's not affecting the majority of people. The biggest ones that are getting hurt are the ones that are more than 1,000 feet from a hydrant. Those are the ones that are really getting hit, but, I think I get what you're saying. It's a 20% increase, but I think the big issue there is that we've just been so far behind for so long. And we're trying to get caught up.
So when does it stop?
But at this, we're at least in the ballpark of where we should be. Again, we look at, we want to, the question I've always had is how do we pick the number? Do we compare it to other departments around us? Do we look at response times? We asked that question about response times in the survey. The vast majority of people want an ambulance or a fire truck in their yard in 3 to 5 minutes. It's that we cannot do that right now.
Well, to be fair, I mean, just picking on Josh, less than 50% said they want 3 to 5 minutes, and about 45% they take 5 to 15.
5 to 10. I think it was 5 to 10.
The question I have is you're talking about out 1,000 feet from the fire department.
Fire hydrant.
Fire hydrant, okay. So with this increase of 6, will they receive that benefit?
Yeah, so what would happen at that point is we can ask for, ISO allows you to get allows you to request a reevaluation if you've had a significant change within the department. So I would petition them for a reevaluation if we add additional staff. They get the option whether they want to grant it or not. I would say it's extremely likely they would. And then they come back and they do a reevaluation and they reset their numbers. So I'm not in ultimate control if they would come back, but I would say it's extremely likely that they would.
Okay.
So that's kind of the incentive on my end too, is to your point, is where I get conflicted, but it is my homeowner's insurance has doubled in the past 2 years. And it went up significantly this past year. And yeah, to your point, you heard me say it before, I'd rather pay that money to the local fire department than to the insurance company. So that's me. But I just think from a budget standpoint, I think it's adding 6 people, it's gonna be a challenge for the budgets. And clearly the referendum didn't pass, so I mean, that isn't gonna work. So if you guys are looking for something, I don't know what's gonna change in the next 4 weeks for the 4 of us to make a decision on what the staffing level is. That's why I think we got 3 minutes to make a decision today.
Well, I personally, as a leader of my village, I would like to know what it's gonna cost each individual. What the increase in our village taxes will be.
Well, we know it.
Yeah,
The union side.
Our last presentation, I thought it was around $50 on a $300,000 home. Like we made that presentation.
With the 6.
With the 6, it was around $50. Plus or minus.
Yeah, I don't know if Aileen or Ben can hear it.
They're not on.
Oh,
No, Galen's on.
Okay, Lisa.
That was for us. Remote might be slightly different, because I think those were our numbers.
Yeah, Rib Mountain might have been slightly less.
Yeah.
Galen, are you able to answer that?
I think she said you're gonna be on a train, so I'm.
If you can repeat the question, because
Says one.
I didn't hear it. There's a lot of voices.
She
so I-
said she wasn't sure about reception. She was gonna have to.
Yeah, go ahead,
I think I'm
repeat that
muted.
again.
So are we gonna make a motion on anything or kicking the can back down the road? Because I don't.
I don't
think
want
we're
to
gonna help
kick the
anything.
can. I don't want to kick the can.
Okay, you make. a motion.
It's, that's me. No, I don't want to direct this whole thing. I mean, I want, okay, I'll make a motion that we add 3 staff for 2027.
I would second that.
Okay, so moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I would be the opposition, so it's 3-1, motion passes. So we're almost, well, is there really any of the remaining items that have to be resolved?
Doesn't have to be.
Okay. All right, so entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next meeting, we can.
Yeah, next meeting.
Second, Steve. That is in the line. Oh, thank you, that is incredible.
And there are backups like Rib Mountain, there's anything wrong with our.
Yeah. So we'll have to